Chapter 20. What are you doing here? I keep Bodhi on the leash when I take him for his morning walk. Even though I know he'd love to chase a few squirrels, I used to let him off leash, but my mother just treated a lab that got hit by a car, and it was not a pretty sight. When we reach the lot near the recreation field, Bodhi takes a leak and I do too. I find a shady spot under a large beech, and Bodhi sneaks in next to me. He ran through a stream on our way here, and now he has that wet dog smell. It's my favorite aroma on the planet, so I bury my face in his fur. Across the field, a group of women are playing softball. I ignore them and reach for my book. I suddenly realize I'm reading a comic where Calvin leans against a tree with Hobbes next to him in the exact same position Bodhi and I are in. Weird. Derek Fallon, is that you? I look up to see Miss Williams running over from first base. She's wearing a Red Hot Chili Peppers tank top and high top sneakers, and her hair is in pigtails. I try to pretend I'm someone else and hide behind Bodhi, but she's already across the field. How's your summer going? I can't look her in the eye. She's wearing cut-off jeans and has a tattoo of a dove on her shoulder that I've never noticed. I feel like running home. Fast. I mumble something about having a stinky summer. She points to my Calvin and Hobbes book. I see you're reading. That's not stinky. She bends down to pet Bodhi, who slobbers all over Miss Williams' face. But instead of backing away, she lets Bodhi cover her with kisses and talks to him in the same stupid baby voice my mother uses with every animal, even though she's a professional. If some moron like Joe Brennan is across the field watching Miss Williams make out with my dog, I will never hear the end of it. I found the notes you wrote in the margins of my book you gave me. Were they helpful? A little. I take my sketchbook out of my pack and show her the Fliporama movie of my summer so far. She sits next to me on the grass and goes through the book herself. I got an email from Carly saying you've been doing some great drawings this summer. I guess she was right. Carly sends emails to teachers? During vacation? What a freak! I am forever grateful to the pitcher who yells, Annie, you're up! Miss Williams heads back to her position, calling over her shoulder for me to enjoy the rest of the summer. If she weren't my teacher, she would almost seem cool. I inhale Bodhi's aroma one more time and try to return to my book, but I can't. Carly emails Miss Williams? She said my drawings were great? I wonder why she never told me. When I get home, there are 3 emails waiting from Grandma saying how excited she is for our visit and asking if I want her to cook any special meals. I email her back and tell her I can't wait to see her too. I also happen to mention barbecue chicken, mashed potatoes, and chocolate cake with coconut frosting. I know my mom would be mad, but the next site I go to is Susan James' guest book. I've read these entries several times already, but the ones by Laura Hutchins are funny and nice. Reading her entries, I find out she was with Susan at the beach that day. No one said anything about Susan being with a friend. I decide not to say anything to Mom in case she thinks I'm upset and cancels our trip. I type Lauren's name into the search engine and learn she has a jewelry stall in an artist gallery in Chilmark, which just happens to be on Martha's Vineyard. The photo shows silver bracelets and glass beads displayed in bowls of uncooked rice. On the About Me page, Lauren looks around the same age as Miss Williams. I write down her store address on the inside cover of the book I'm supposed to be reading. Seeing Miss Williams today makes me feel a tiny bit guilty about blowing off my reading yet again. Instead, I try to decide what would be more fun. A. Spray my father's shaving cream around Bodhi's mouth and run around the neighborhood pretending he has rabies. Or B. Get Henry to loan me his headgear, tied on Bodhi, and attach a stuffed animal to the front so he can chase it like a greyhound running after a rabbit. Both ideas seem fun, but my markers are calling. My hand hovers over the case. Deep blue? Orangey brown? I choose the lime green, grab a handful of cookies from the cupboard, and head for the porch to draw.